I mean,
well, that's the thing. If you look back at the 80s, I mean, I'm sure the 70s too. Pop music was the clean music, clean, friendly music that kids could listen to, right?
This song that's popping in my head right now, all the leaves are brown in the sky. That's the most satanic song ever.
Why you say that?
Because it's the most. That's a popular song they were pushing. Think about it. All the leaves. It sounds so happy, and the sky is gray.
Do we gotta play it backwards?
It just, I don't know.
Worship Satan and kill.
I promise you, somehow the mamas and the papas.
Yeah. How is that satanic?
I'm just saying. I'm speaking.
I bet they went to church.
That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think.
Hey, blast off, I can talk my ass off. Hey, Smokey, what you seen, and I'll tell you what I saw. Hollywood, what you think, and I'll tell you what I thought. And we can talk about it all when we here on Trash Talk. Hey.
What's going on, everybody? We're back with another episode of the Trash Talkers Podcast.
We made it.
We made it, Smoke.
Yeah, we did.
Go ahead and talk about football for a second.
Man, you want to talk about some football?
Go ahead. Get it out your system.
Now. See that Georgia and Texas game?
There was a riot, I heard.
Yeah, oh, there was, man. Like, I don't know. If any of y'all are a Texas Longhorns fan, man, what are y'all doing? Like, I get it. That was a bad call. But, see, that's going to set a precedent, though. You start, like, now the fans are going to be like, I didn't like that call. Throw stuff. They'll change it. This is a bad look, man.
Shout out to all our Texas
subscribers. Very bad officiating in college and NFL right now.
Terrible. Mm-hmm. Shout out to all our Texas fans out there.
So yeah, we still love you, but Jesus, man,
I was gonna
throw stuff.
Yeah, don't do that. I was gonna ask what you got going on, but it's pretty much football right now.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, it's that time of year, man.
Man, I actually had a brief vacation. It felt good, to just chill, relax, take a breather, And guys, it's good to do that. It's great to work hard, and y'all know how we are on New Metal Mondays. Like yesterday, we try to break stuff. Mondays we hate, but it's okay. You gotta work through
something to break.
Something to break. Yes, break something. For real. But it's okay to take a break sometimes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Instead of breaking stuff, take a break.
You gotta unwind, man, so you don't punch your balls.
100%. God dang, bro. If you bring up the boss and Mrs. Williams,
stop. Miss Williams,
Miss Williams, please don't come after us. Anyway, let's start off with the top 3 comments from the previous podcast. Again, guys, if you're new here, we read the top 3 comments from the previous podcast that we do. The last podcast that we did was actually Will Hair Metal Ever Make a Return? And the top 3 comment, the number 3 most comment from that podcast comes from Chuletta216. Chuletta216 says, Rap Unzel.
Rapunzel.
Because remember I was braiding your hair and I said Rapunzel?
Yeah.
And then Chuletta216 says Rapunzel.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I like it. All right, the number 2 most liked comment comes from FM Chef 25. Shout out to you, Lucas.
Yeah.
Lucas says, Hollywood. Okay, bub, the wig is killing me. You look like Slash. You look like if Slash and Richard Ramirez had a kid. God dang. Much love, bub. Love you, Lucas, man. Love you, Lucas. The number 1 most liked comment comes from Daystar's Den. Daystar's Den says, oh, wow. I was just thinking about you chill guys. And then I see you uploaded 5 minutes ago. What?
Yeah.
That's sick, homies. Oh, yeah. You guys should check out Unaverage Gang someday. All right. Peace out, homies. About to hit a bowl. Shout out to you, Daystar's Den.
Check out Unaverage Gang.
Unaverage Gang. Yeah, guys, leave us some suggestions on what we should do from them, man. 100%. Now, Smoke Dog, today's an interesting topic.
Yeah, it is, man. It's about let me try it again. It is almost Halloween. We're getting close, man. Yes. It's that spooky time of year.
It's our favorite time of the year. We love it, man. I will say, dude, it was so cool like 3 days ago. Why was it 81 degrees today?
I don't know, man. Because we live in Atlanta.
It's gonna snow. It's gonna be 103 degrees on Christmas. Watch.
Yeah.
Do you remember like 2 Christmases ago? It was like almost 100.
Yeah, we have those here, man. I think maybe 1 year out of my entire life we had like some snow flurries on Christmas.
You remember the blizzard? Was that 94?
Oh, that was 93.
93.
Yes, I do remember that.
I
Man.
w-
Iced over, but that was in March.
God, man, make up your mind, Atlanta. Jesus Christ, man.
We usually do get the cold snaps anywhere from late January to early March.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll never forget that, dude. I remember there was a big hill coming out. We stayed in these apartment complexes. There's a big old hill, and we ain't had nothing to go. We wanted to sled, so my mama said, "Go grab a suitcase." Dude, I'm in this
jumped in the
suitcase, just rolling down this thing, dude. It was awesome, man.
That's hilarious.
Heck yeah, but no.
But the crazy thing though is we haven't had actual snow here in a decade. 2014 was the last time, so we're going on 11 years since we had actual snow in Atlanta.
I don't know if the government has something going on with the weather down here, but can we just get some snow?
Well, there's three lines of thought. Some people believe it's man-made global warming. Some people believe it's a natural cycle, and some people believe the government may be controlling it. But no matter what you believe, you have to admit that it has gotten hotter.
It's gotten hotter.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, dude. We go from blizzards in March to freaking wearing what? I was gonna say what? Can I say white beaters? Tank tops.
I don't know if you can say it anymore.
Yeah, I don't know if you can call them that anymore. But no, Smokey brought up a good point. It's getting close to Halloween. So the question is, was the Satanic Panic a good thing or a bad thing for music?
I think it was both, to tell you the truth. I mean, at the time, their agenda was to make heavy music or counterculture music look bad, right? So they go on this big rant, and the teachers and preachers and government officials, they all have this big campaign that we need to stop, because America was very religious at that time. Now, it's not as religious these days. Still a lot of people that are religious, but it's loosened up so much since that time. When you go from the 70s and 80s, there were still the average person, the average American was pretty religious. I don't know if they were ultra religious. They were pretty religious, and most homes had Jesus on the wall, crosses. Yeah, which you don't see that much anymore these days, but it definitely was back then. So they go on this big campaign to try to shut down this counterculture music that was coming out. And, the kids are falling for it. The kids are going crazy. They're committing all kinds of crimes. They're worshiping the devil. They're drinking blood. And the music is what's causing it.
I mean, they do say, music is like the voice for
a generation.
Yes, it is. I mean, if you look at it I look at it like this. I do agree with you. I think it is a good and a bad thing. The good thing is, yes, it pushed the boundaries of art. It pushed the boundaries of artists or artist groups being able to be creative in whatever way you like, whether it's through a spiritual or religious way, satanic way, whatever it does, it makes you be creative. But on the flip side, you're looking, like you said, the parents that are like, well, my kid went from being the greatest straight A honor student in the choir. Now he's wearing black eyeliner and
a Marilyn Manson t-shirt.
And for some reason, this dude's obsessed with whatever the heck this is. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But,
or I guess in the early days, it would have been Black Sabbath or Judas Priest or something like that. Yeah, Iron Maiden.
So we talk about the Satanic Panic. You would attribute Satanic Panic specifically for the rock genre, right?
Well, I think originally, yeah, but it bled into hip-hop pretty quickly.
Okay.
By the 90s, it had infiltrated hip-hop, for sure.
So let me ask you this. You remember, like, the height of gangster rap, where people hated it? They were burnt.
Same thing, yeah.
Which one influenced culture more? Was it the Satanic Panic or, like, the gangster rap era? Which one do you think the parents hated the most?
Ew. Oh, that's a good question.
Was it my kids worshiping the devil or my kids drinking 40s and smoking blunts? Which one?
And talking about shooting everybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's tough to say, man, because I think they both affected culture equally in a way. But when I say there's a bad part to it also, the bad part, in my opinion, is that nowadays there is absolutely nothing shocking.
Yeah.
Because the cultures who were into that the parents hated, the young kids who were into it became parents. So now the parents are the ones who were into all the devil music. So the culture has become very dulled to it.
That's a fact. You're right, dude. Because one of my really good friends, she's in her mid-40s, and she has a daughter who's 22. She just took her to like an Iron Maiden, and it's like, you're 22, and the daughter knows more than the mom does, and she's like, how? You know, and it was, I think it was an Iron Maiden cover band or something, but they were like, it's like, you would think the parent would be against it or you would think the parent would be against the child being for it or being against it.
Yeah, but how can you be?
Right. It's like, hey, I effed with them. You effed with them too?
Yeah.
Imagine your daughter Imagine your son comes up to you and say, Dad, can we please go watch Tech 9 next week? You're going to be like, boy, I've been waiting on this moment my entire life.
I was going without you, but come on.
Heck yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Man, if my little nephew walk up on you and say that, you better... don't hurt him. Heck yeah, you better take him, man.
Yeah, exactly.
But it also...
See, that's the thing. It kind of numbed the next wave, the next generation. Mm-hmm. The generation right before us. They were the ones who were kids when the Satanic Panic was in full force. Mm-hmm. The Gen X kids. Mm-hmm. I guess I don't think it really started with although it was the baby boomers who were doing the performing. Yeah. They were the ones who really started it.
That's a fact, actually.
But they were performing to the Gen X kids.
What do you think was the song that said, hey, this is the start? This is the band. What band was we brought Satanic Panic to the forefront?
Black Sabbath.
You don't think Kiss?
You think Kiss? I mean, that could be. It could be.
I mean,
but then again, Black Sabbath may have. Hold on, let's look that up. When was Kiss's first album?
The reason I just say Kiss is because when I think of Kiss now, I think of I was made for. Yeah, but at one point before the disco Kiss,
they were seen as a dark. They wear makeup. They wear all the leather.
I mean, Gene Simmons has a 17-inch tongue. I mean,
yeah.
I mean, you seeing that, bro? Your parents are.
Oh, that's a trademark. Okay, see, they didn't come out till 74. Black Sabbath came out in 70. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so I would say Black Sabbath.
You would say Black Sabbath was the band that said.
I think, yeah. I would say, from my knowledge. I mean, maybe you guys have something that came out a little before. I mean, if people say that Led Zeppelin was pretty heavy for their time, but it wasn't. Like, that I know of, there wasn't that dark just talking about the evil until Black Sabbath.
Right.
Talking about the devils and gods and the evil of men. Although, as we've examined it, we have found out that they weren't actually like praise Satan, or hell Satan or anything like that. They were actually had really good messages in their music. They just did it in a dark way that made the parents freak out.
Eat your vitamins and say your prayers, kids, but we're just gonna do it in a different way. It's actually it's so funny.
We're giving you good advice. We just
delivering it to you a little different.
Yeah, exactly.
It's almost like you praise Jesus, but you don't hear praise. I guess is hail Satan.
Yeah.
Hail Satan. Why don't people say hail Jesus? Why is hail always towards a bad, like hail the H guy? Hail.
Yeah.
But hail Satan.
I mean, it's German.
But why is hail never used towards like hail God, hail Jesus?
You think you could though, right?
You never hear it though. Hail Mother Mary.
Remember back when Dale Earnhardt was huge? The rednecks would be like, all hail Dale.
Hail Dale.
All hail Dale. Dale was like their god.
Hey, you ain't lying, dude. My dad, my biological father, I'm not joking. I think I've said this before. This dude has a shrine. Dude, maybe Dale might be a Satanist, dude. If you hail Satan, hail Dale, and my dad has a shrine? Oh, you don't know about the Dale days. How many people out there have shrines of the devil? Many people, or something of, you know what I'm saying? Like they have like a.
Oh, he was a deity. Like he was a a demigod to certain people.
What's the religion called if you worship Dale Earnhardt?
Daleism is for sure. Earnhardtism.
Hey, you know what number car he drove, right?
Number 3.
Yeah, threes. Hey, just so happens I'm wearing a 3-6 Motor Company shirt right now. Also, and I don't want to talk about his passing, but he did die in a fiery.
He did, yeah. Which there's no doubt about it. He was probably, I mean, I don't know that much about NASCAR, but I do know he was probably the best of all time. He was the Tom Brady of NASCAR, from what I understand.
God dang. How the hell did we get from Hail Satan to Dale Earnhardt?
Because it rhymes with it.
Hail Dale, man. Hail Dale.
Oh, Hail Dale. But anyway, what were we talking about before we got on Hail?
Gangster rap. So we were talking about a gangster. I wanted to ask that. Like, which one had a bigger impact? Do you think it was the Satanic Panic, or do you think it was the gangster rap? Which one had a more negative connotation towards?
I gotta say the Satanic Panic, right? I mean, yeah, they hated. There were campaigns against gangster rap too. Anytime you can go to a concert back in those days and see a picket line of religious people out in front,
They did that with gangster rap.
yes, they did. That's what I'm saying. Like they both were pretty heavily protested, for sure.
Who wins in a fight? Satanic Panic or gangster rap?
Well, gangster rap, they ain't gonna fight. They're gonna shoot you.
I don't know, man.
I mean, the satanic people might
they
bring
got
some
spells
baseball
on
bats, but you ain't gonna get close enough. You'll be shot.
No, you ain't. But ultimately, the question though was, we both agree. Yes, we see the goods, we see the bad, we see the pros, we see the cons of the Satanic Panic.
Yeah.
Ultimately, dude, I think this may sound a little weird, but sometimes not negativity, but pushing the edge, it kind of is needed sometimes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
well,
Like,
that's what art always has done, right?
yes, that's why I said it let artists be more out there. You know what I'm talking about?
When the youth gets captivated by a certain artist, the parents always want to believe. Because as a parent, you're like, okay, I want to be that influential person in my kid's life, right? I want them to look up to me. But kids, they get to adolescence and their teenage years, they're looking for someone outside of the family to look up to. And it just so happens to be someone covered in tattoos and screaming on stage. The parents will look at it and go, yeah, I don't like that person. First of all, it's taking my kid's attention away from me. And he doesn't look like me. That person with the long hair and the tattoos and makeup or whatever, that doesn't look like me. So that's obviously evil.
So, speaking to you as a parent, has any of your children ever had someone that they just looked up to that you were just totally against?
Nah, I can't say so. See, that's what I was saying earlier, though. With the millennials, we've already seen it all when we were kids. There's not much that shocks us anymore. So if my kid's like, oh man, check out Ghost, I love Ghost, and I'm like, yeah, I do too. They're pretty good, I gotta admit.
God.
Mariana Cross.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
It's like, so what happens when they become adults and then they're kids? Like you always say,
The
life
pendulum
is a pendulum.
always swings back.
It's
Yeah.
always.
Yeah.
So is it gonna go back to the point where
It will. Yeah.
where will it become, dude? The Christian panic? No, that don't. That, but what,
Oh, there could be. Oh, I wouldn't doubt that. I mean, the pendulum would have to swing pretty far.
it'd be the Christian mission. It went from the
Yeah.
Satanic Panic to the Christian mission.
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't doubt it. Like, society could change enough into the future to where we get rid of all religion, and then the way of rebellion is by turning to religion. And there's be like, we're secretly practicing Christianity amongst ourselves,
Because it's
and then we
taboo.
look at that as evil. Because at one point in time, back 2,000 years ago, Christianity was the evil religion.
Yeah.
That they crucified Jesus.
And that's so,
Because he was evil in their eyes.
right. And if it gets to that point where there's these underground Christian groups, then they're looking at Baphomet like, man, That's soft.
baby shit.
That's soft. That's baby crap. Meanwhile, we are, man, 777. What you know about 777 up in this thing?
I don't want to hear you talking about that 777. If you mention Jesus in this household, I will kick you out.
Is that a Bible?
That's
Is that a Bible?
God, he brought a Bible.
If you don't burn that right now, dude, that is so crazy when you think about it, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, with you know how you said 70s, 80s was like the year, right?
Yeah.
If you really think about it, dude, and you could find a way to make a argument as to why this is, but think about pop music, the popular music that's being pushed by radio stations, pushed by big corporations. There's a lot of satanic things going on there.
Yeah.
I mean,
that's the thing. If you look back at the 80s, I mean, I'm sure the 70s too. Pop music was the clean music, clean, friendly music that kids could listen to, right?
This song that's popping in my head right now, all the leaves are brown in the sky. That's the most satanic song ever.
Why you say that?
Because it's the most. That's a popular song they were pushing. Think about it. All the leaves. It sounds so happy, and the sky is gray.
Do we gotta play it backwards?
It just, I don't know.
Worship Satan and kill.
I promise you, somehow the mamas and the papas.
Yeah. How is that satanic?
I'm just saying. I'm speaking.
I bet they went to church.
That's what they want you to think. That's what they want you to think.
Man.
She was eating a banana on stage, bruh. Remember she was like, y'all won't let us. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. But I don't know how that makes it satanic.
I guess where I was going, there's a lot of radio stations that push popular songs, and they sound like poker face.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Lady Gaga. I mean, Madonna in a way also, but
I mean, this is totally normal.
But by the 2000s, like I said, we had become numb to it. And pop music. I mean, look, I don't really watch the what's the Grammys or whatever, but people, every time that comes out, people are making videos talking about, hey, look at the satanic imagery on the Grammys this year.
Yeah.
You know?
Or hell, the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure
They be getting on the Super Bowl bad.
Yeah, the Olympics.
The Olympics.
Yeah. Because it's just
Do you think it's because there's so many people watching at one time? It's like, hey, let's push an imagery, and people are just trying to find stuff. Maybe.
I think it's shock value is part of it.
I mean, it's kind of it's also kind of a money thing too. It's like, you know.
Because, I mean, there's still some people of the old ways, and some people who are around for the Satanic Panic, and some people who still hold their values of, you can't even say Christian because the Olympics is worldwide, so it's people of all religions who would see that and go, you know, there were some satanic type things that they hid in there, you know, and
I mean, that girl, the breakdancing chick. You can't tell me that ain't
what was the name? Ray Gun?
You can't tell me that's not the most satanic dance in the world, dude. That chick was there to hail Satan. I'm telling you, dude.
That was crazy, man. It's like, you were the best Australia had to
How?
offer.
How?
I think she rigged it. Wasn't that a story, though, that people were like, yeah, well, she won because she was the one in charge of the event.
Oh, Lord. Dude, it's like, that's that classic meme. You get the job, but lied on your... I saw one, you know, they say you lied on your resume and you still got the job.
Yeah.
I saw one where it was like a dude was in he was it was a bunch of Asian people or Chinese, you know, they were speaking Mandarin, and he was like, he was completely American, and they were speaking to him in Mandarin, and Buddy was like, shrimp fried rice, wonton soup, and I was like, bro, you lied, you know damn well you don't speak Mandarin. Like this girl in the Olympics, you know dang well you didn't belong there, man.
Yeah, she just thought, well, I'm a good dancer, well, sure I can do that breakdancing stuff. She just watched a few videos on YouTube, and she's like, of course I can do that.
The video she watched was now this is hip hop.
Yeah.
You want to pop like that. This is what
Dude,
makes
I
it
think
hip-hop.
it was Dunning-Kruger syndrome.
Ooh.
She knew she could dance like whatever style she usually danced in, and she watched a few videos. And so, of course, I got
and
this.
believed
I'm
in
the best
herself.
dancer in the world.
Now tie this back to Satanism. Bring it back around. Come on.
We were talking about it because of the Olympics
Yes.
and the opening ceremonies, but
That could have been a satanic. Like if you imagery. You know, what if that dance she was doing was like maybe there's some old like satanic like ritual, you know, where you're like, you know,
you would have been forefront of the satanic.
Oh
panic
yeah,
if you were
no
around.
question, no
You
question.
were like everything's satanic.
No question.
You like Bobby Boucher's mama. That's the devil right there. That is the devil.
Barry Boucher, Barry Boucher.
Yeah, everything on TV. That man is the devil.
I mean, God, dude, it's so crazy because we are in the Bible Belt, and my grandmama is my grandmama would not let me play playing cards.
Yeah,
That's the devil.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let us like play dice. That's
Yeah.
the devil.
Yeah.
She wouldn't let us watch MTV like maybe that's why I was so scared of Michael Jackson.
yeah,
Because she
probably,
convinced
because
me
he's
that
the
was the devil, dude. I don't know.
I guess my grandparents had a touch of that, but they weren't that bad. Like
No?
they weren't the Bobby Boucher mama, no. But you know, they would see things on TV and be like, "Ooh, that's." My grandfather would say, "That's critical right there. That is critical."
Let me ask you this question: do you think during the height of the Satanic Panic, do you think it was almost necessary for every song or every album from a big group to have some sort of scary, dark, demonic song? Like, think about it, Thriller. Who would think the dude that does beat it comes out with don't like
Yeah.
everyone seems
But
to
they
have
even gave a disclaimer for that, from what I understand. Like, they're like, "This is just for play. Michael Jackson is not a Satanist."
Little do you know.
I mean, he was the devil, of course.
I'm just thinking, like, during that time, because it sold so much, you would think that maybe the labels were like, "Hey, you have to have. It's the popular thing now." And
Oh yeah, well the labels definitely pushed it. Oh, there's no doubt about that. Like, the labels were all those old people that you would think would have been in the Satanic Panic, but money was their god. So they pushed these ideas and lyrics that made them tons of money. Because counterculture is what draws the kids in. The kids will spend their money on that music or that movie or whatever it is, because they want to see something that's different than what their parents have been showing them their whole life.
You're right. And dude, there's something to say when you said, you know, there's nothing shocking to us anymore. Like,
Yeah,
if you
see,
ask,
that's the problem, man.
if you ask most of the trash talkers watching this, if you most people would agree, like, oh, they don't make scary movies like they used to. The Friday, the Halloween, the old Halloween, now that's a scary movie. Friday the 13th, now that's a scary movie. Because we weren't shown everything at that time.
Yeah,
So at that time, you thought, dude,
now they're way better, but we think they're way worse.
I effed around and watched The Human Centipede.
Did you?
And was not bothered at all for some reason.
Yes.
I'm desensitized.
Exactly. Everyone is at this point. Like, that's probably a big reason why every time a movie comes out, there's just this big campaign of, "We hate this movie.
Sucks.
This is the worst movie ever portrayed on the public."
There was a
and really, if you watch it with an open mind, you're like, "That's not a bad
that
movie."
bad. Yeah. There was they're doing that with the Joker. You know, the Joker with Lady Gaga. Like, they're saying people are just walking out. Like, they're saying it's like one of the worst movies ever. And then this one dude was like, "All right, let me go sit down." He sat
I might
down.
like it then.
And I know you might enjoy it. But he's like, the dude walked out. He was like, "It's actually a pretty good movie."
Yeah.
Man. But for some reason, it's like now,
Dude, I think that was the problem when Rob Zombie did The Monsters. Like, it was acclaimed as like one of the worst. It's not really. It is horror, I guess, but
It's
it's The Monsters. It's supposed to be
kind of
comedic, and,
though.
yeah, and slapstick and whatever. But people were like, "This is the worst movie I have ever seen." Like, did you watch the original Monsters?
Yeah.
Like, I get it that, that when you were a kid, you watched The Monsters, you're like, "Man, this is funny and scary at the same time."
I used to love The Monsters.
So was his movie.
Yeah.
The only problem is people are expecting more and more and more. They want bigger and bigger and better. And there's only so far you can go. That's why people are not scared of horror movies anymore.
So, speaking of Rob Zombie, we both are fans of, House of a Thousand Corpses, Devil's Rejects, and he has his wife in most of his movies. Was his wife Vampira?
Yeah.
She was. That's
It wasn't Vampira. It was
what's her name?
Morticia. Lily. Lily Munster.
Lily Munster?
Yeah.
Who's Vampira?
Yeah, that was a different movie.
Huh. Anyway, but I like that he does that. But I mean, again, his name's Rob Zombie. I mean, one could make an argument that the Satanic Panic made where we are now, made the Rob Zombies, made it's cool to be emo. It's cool to wear a 366 shirt. It's cool to do it,
Like we were watching The Undertaker and Sting and all that, Vampiro. Now that you mentioned Vampiro, but guys like that when we were kids, and when we were kids, we thought they were shocking. But now, like you see a Kane in wrestling or something of that nature, and you're like, it's just a big guy in a suit.
I ain't gonna lie, there is one wrestler that kind of freaked me out, like the Boogeyman. When he had all the worms
the Boogeyman
in his...
was great.
I'm like, ugh. Maybe it didn't.
His entrance was. Man, I hate that he didn't last that long because he was already old when he started doing that.
Yeah, because he's been around for a minute.
Yeah, he was. I don't think he started wrestling until he was like 40.
Man, see, like to a child, to like a 8-year-old, are they afraid of the Boogeyman like that as we would have been?
I don't think so, because they've already seen it all. When we were kids, that was new stuff. You're like, wow, that is an evil character. And we didn't even look at it as a character. We just thought it was an evil demon right there.
And Trash Talkers, if you guys have young kids, let us know, what are they afraid of? Like, what's something they're totally afraid? I'll tell you, when my nephew is, he will run out of the house, Siren Head.
Oh, really?
He thinks that dude is. I mean, if he hears
the creepypastas,
bro, you know Siren Head, right?
Yeah, that was
if he hears a police car, he's running in the house.
How old is he?
Carson's 7.
Oh yeah.
And
I get it, around that age. I showed my son. My son hated Thriller when he was young.
That's me. I ain't gonna lie. I be terrorizing my little cousin with Siren. I be walking in with her. I be terrorizing his little. But anyway, go ahead. I'm sorry.
At my daughter's age, it was like Slender Man and The Rake and all that stuff, But my son, he didn't like. I showed him Thriller, and then the second time I was gonna watch it, he was like, "No, I don't want to see it."
I don't blame you.
But then after watching it like 3 or 4 times, he loved it.
Yeah. See,
he was scared of it at first, but then that's the desensitizing that happens.
Yes. Yeah. You watch it enough, eventually you're gonna get cool with it. You listen to it enough, eventually you're gonna be cool with it. With all these parents back in the day when the Satanic Panic first dropped, at what point did they become accepting of it? At what point did they say, "Okay, I'm okay with it"?
2000s, I think.
Well, by that point, they're damn.
Yeah.
They're in their 80s at that point. Well, yeah.
The originals, yeah.
Yeah.
The original parents of like the 70s Satanic Panic parents, but I think that's it. It's just the generation that grew up with it grow up and say, well, yeah, my kids. I mean, that's softcore stuff.
Yeah, soft. Man, that's so crazy. I want to meet like somebody who's like 94, who still wears the eyeliner, who still wears the boots. Where's that person?
Well, I mean, if they think about it, if they were 94, that means they were born in the 30s. So they would have been.
Wait a minute,
they would have already been like 50 by the time the Satanic.
Well, okay, so if you're born in the 30s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s. Okay, so they're in their 40s.
Yeah.
There's got to be a 90-year-old satanic metalhead out there.
But you got.
Dude,
music audiences are older these days, though.
You can't tell me there's not like a metal show where there's a dude in a wheelchair being freaking. They got him on the. Oh!
There may be somebody. There may be somebody at that time. But if you look at the audiences for metal shows back in the 70s and 80s, they were all 15 to 19 years old, because you watch that Heavy Metal Parking Lot documentary. Well, I guess it's a documentary. It was like a public broadcasting special that somebody put together back in the 80s. They were going around asking, like, where are you from? How old are you? And everybody was teenagers. And there was this one dude that was like 22, and they were like, don't you think you're a little old for a show?
That's tough.
Exactly.
22, dude.
Yeah.
That's a baby, man.
Yeah.
So
they were like, aren't you a little old to be hanging out here?
I mean,
like, Jesus Christ. Like, I was seeing some great shows in my mid-20s.
Hell, we were putting on some great shows in our 20s. I'm trying to think, man. Like, damn, I had a good point I wanted to bring up. God, I forgot what I was gonna say, man. But I don't know, dude. I think when it comes down to it, controversy sells.
Yeah.
You know, sex, violence, it sells. People are gonna hate it. People are gonna rebel towards it. But at the end of the day, if it don't make dollars, don't make sense.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I guess that's the long and the short of it. I mean, it was a bad thing because it desensitized people, but it was a good thing because a lot of artists made a ton of money off of it.
A ton of money. And became huge.
Yeah.
Man.
And is it a good thing that the culture became desensitized? Like, I kind of miss that feeling of, like, being shocked by something.
So, I think it depends on the individual. Like, I can't watch, like, gore. I can't.
Yeah.
But, like, to you, like, you can,
yeah.
it doesn't bother you.
Yeah, because I ended up opening videos that people would pass around in the early days of the internet, you know, like 2000, you know, you start getting these emails.
Two guys, one hammer.
Yeah, stuff like that, yeah. So, of course, you know, it was shocking when you first see it, you know. Well, I mean, they did have, like, Faces of Death movies back then, too.
So, could you watch a Faces of Death movie now?
Oh, now? Yeah. Oh, that's child's play these days.
Wow, I couldn't do it, dude.
Because the early days of the internet just shattered all that.
Yeah. I'm a wuss,
I mean,
dude.
it's, like, in the early days of YouTube, you could turn it on and see some disgusting gore.
Shout out to Chills. You know Chills, right?
Oh, yeah.
Shout out Chills.
Yeah.
But yeah, YouTube is taking all that off, you know.
Yeah. I mean, they finally censored the internet.
They did. I will say, you were talking about Faces of Death. There's God, what was that one? Maybe I'm just like rats. Why am I afraid of rats? I know exactly why, but in your eyes, you're probably like, it's just a rat, you know? But also with me...
I feel that with snakes, though. It's just like a mortal fear.
Okay, so then, like, you know, like, I can't, like, the gory things, I can't watch them. But, like, when I'm watching MMA and I see someone got in an arm bar and I know your arm is about to break, I've watched probably 20,000 fights in my life. I'm like, I can't watch it. I don't know what it is. It's just, like knowing that your arm doesn't go that way. So, or like,
with that, there's a syndrome where people can actually feel the pain of someone they're watching.
What's that called?
I forgot. I used to know the name of it. I can't remember right offhand.
Endomyosis.
No, it's not endometriosis. I'm pretty sure you need a uterus for that.
Endometriosis.
I forgot what it was called, but yeah, there is a specific condition where you can actually watch someone in pain and feel that pain in your own body. I get it a little bit. Like, sometimes I'll see, you know, like one of those videos and see somebody in real pain, and I'll, like, say it's in their back. You know, they broke their back. I'll get like, ooh, yeah. Oh. I mean, it's slight. It's not really bad, you know. I
mean, I don't know, man. It all comes down to what. Why I feel like we got a homeboy named Endometriosis. I feel like we know somebody named Endometriosis.
That was me. Certified.
Endometriosis.
His full name was not Demetrius. It was endometriosis.
Endometriosis. That's hilarious. Man, listen, y'all. This was a good one, man. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Y'all answer the question. I know we kind of deviated off the tracks a little bit, but that's what we do here on the Trash Talkers podcast. Yeah. You guys let us know. What are your thoughts on the Satanic Panic? Was it a good thing for music? Was it a bad thing? Or was it good? Or both?
I think it was both.
Both, yeah. You guys let us know what you think down in the comment section. Thank y'all for hanging out with us. Smoke Dog, you got anything else for them today?
I think that's it for this week.
Guys, stick around. We got a great week of reactions. And with that being said, my name is Barry Hollywood 6. Bye.
I am Larry Smokey Ramirez.
And we are
over.
And
out. Deuces. Yeah, boy. Yeah.